The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons. We thank God for those of you who are watching us on various platforms. We also thank God for those of you who are listening to us on the stations of WIGO 1570. I wanted to say Atlanta's Incredible Radio. That was our old tagline. Let me get it right. It's now the legendary WIGO pace setter 1570 AM. And we're hoping tonight that our Wi-Fi and technology will remain stable. We've had a little flickering, but hopefully and prayerfully it will remain spot on tonight. Remember, you can follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. I'll flash it up on the screen for those of you who are watching right there. Bingo, bango. Yeah, follow us anywhere on social media and you can catch up with us and see what we're doing in places near and far. Because we try to cover around Metro Atlanta, but we also from time to time go where the action is. And like I said, again, we are just very, very pleased. And we ask you to kind of hang in there with us here as we, unfortunately, for the first time in a long time, running into some little Wi-Fi technical difficulties. But the show must go on. So we're going to go on and make it do what it do. Okay, guys, as you know, anytime I do this show, we bring in one of the most beautiful women on sports talk radio or TV. We simply know her as the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
Well, hey, see, as soon as you came on, it's like my Wi-Fi went bloop and it popped back in. So I just need to see your beautiful face. And there we go.
Thank you.
That's all we needed right there. Well, also, we have great beauty. We also have a champion. He's not a one, but two-time Super Bowl champion. He is a veteran of over a decade in the NFL, and he is a member of the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. And he's a darn nice guy. The one and only Tyrone Poole is back in the building. Tyrone, what's going on, sir?
Damn!
Woo!
There it is. Not one, but two. Hold up.
Off.
Oh, he done put so much shine there.
I had to do it. I had to do it.
Oh, that's so much good. I gotta put the shades on. Dang, gone.
Watch out there now.
I was blinded by the light. Woo.
Hey, they match, right?
Praise the Lord. That's what I'm talking about right there. Tyrone Poole in the building, showing off the hardware. He was, as the young guy that says, he's iced up, boys. That's all the goodies right there. Right there. Well, listen, guys, it's great to have everybody back. A great weekend, another big weekend in sports. Lots going on in and around the world. Some good and sadly some bad. We got some news that broke across. I think it was from last night, but someone brought it to my attention. Sadly, 3 members of the University of Virginia football team were shot and killed, evidently by a fellow student. I don't know if you guys had heard that. Some type of they're trying to piece it all together, whether it's some hazing involved or some bullying. But the bottom line is that 3 young men in the prime of life are gone, and a 4th young man now will have to bear the burden for the rest of his life that he took the lives of 3 people that he evidently knew. Yeah, so definitely, just like I said, a sad thing. Our prayers go out to all the families involved and so forth. Now, Tyrone, I know one of the things that you do is, in fact, deal with bullying. I'm sure when you hear something like this is why you want people to get involved with your app and try to do more and to do better to try to help, cut this off before something unfortunately tragic like this happens.
Well, one thing you stated, we don't know exactly what happened, but just to talk about the app, yes, those that want to go and check out what we're doing with the app, it is a bullying app. We also cover the genres of K through 12. That's called the Bullying Buddy. Yes, Bullying Buddy, thebullyingbuddy.com. Thebullyingbuddy.com if you want to go check the app out. And also, you can go to stomp, STOMP.world. Again, the bullyingbuddy.com. So, but no, it's a tragedy. I was told about the situation maybe well towards late last night, and it's unfortunate. And like I said, we don't know what happened, but it's unfortunate anytime any tragedy happens. So at the end of the day, it puts a lot of pressure on the school. People gonna be calling for answers. They're gonna be calling for answers, and somebody gonna have to step up. People may lose their job. It's up under their watch. So to speak. So it's a very cruel world we live in, and again, our prayers and condolences go out to the family.
No doubt. Trey, I don't know if you heard about it at all, but yeah, just it just kind of makes you wonder, what would drive someone to be that angry that it would take the life of anybody, but especially someone evidently that they knew.
Yeah, I will never understand it. My prayers are with all the families involved, the university, just everybody. It's so unfortunate. I just hate hearing things like this happening, and somehow, some way, it has to stop.
Yeah, we all gonna have to just do a better job of, just I don't even know. I mean, I'm just kind of speechless. Even as a minister, I'm not sure, what words you can say.
That's not good.
Okay. Well, evidently, I have set off some alarms with whatever I was saying, so we didn't certainly want to get people that riled up. But there we go. But yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just sad to see, and we hope and pray that we can, do more to really get people, off this kick of using violence as an answer to a situation. Because and not only that, evidently this happened on, either on the bus or near the bus where you had other people that weren't even involved at all. Not that makes a difference per se, but I mean, just to think that someone would just start shooting, in where they have people, like I said, that they know. And people that know them is just very, very sad and tragic. And like I said again, just prayers go out to everybody, all the families involved, students that were obviously slain, and then even the people that were witnessing, because that's going to be something that's going to be in just burned and seared into their memory for the rest of their lives. So tragedy at University of Virginia, sad to see it, and we hope and pray that again, all will recover from this tragedy. So again, guys, all just be prayerful that we can do better in this crazy world we live in. All right, well, moving on. Just like I said, there was a lot going on in the world of sports. Do you guys have any other burning topics that you guys want to get into before we get into the meat of the broadcast?
I want to talk about football. So
Well, we're going to talk a lot about football because there's a lot of football played, both collegiate, high school, and of course pro football. So yeah, a lot of stuff was happening. We be talking about all about that, no doubt, as the program goes on. Well, let's give a big shout out to Rob the Road. The Atlanta Braves have another award winner, Rookie of the Year, a guy from right down the road in Stockbridge. Big shout out to Michael Harris for winning the National League Rookie of the Year. You guys, we kind of talked about the Braves as time went on. What do you think about Michael Harris edging out his teammate, the pitcher, to get that award? Tyrone, what do you think about Michael Harris as the Rookie of the Year?
Congratulations to him, and honor well deserved. So hopefully, they can come back and next season and have an even more productive year, as well as the Braves.
No doubt. Tree, got to be pretty exciting to see that. A hometown hero, guy from right down the road.
yeah, it's always good to see somebody from the Braves win Rookie of the Year. And like I said, the Braves, they have a great team. They have a great thing going on. So it's excited to see them get as many awards as they can and continue to go as far as they can in the playoffs, even though unfortunately this season didn't finish how they wanted, but at least they had a great season.
No, you're absolutely right. And now, as always, anytime you have wins, you have other issues that involve personnel. So once again, the Braves will find themselves looking eyeball to eyeball across the table with a hero, a guy that also grew up, I believe, in Marietta. They're going to be looking at Dansby's contract, and I believe that Mr. Dansby has the same agent as Freddie Freeman. So hopefully his negotiation will go smoother and allow him to be here in Atlanta. He's saying all the right things. He's saying how he wants to stay here. He wants to be here. But once again, the Braves are going to be at the table negotiating with a guy who is a fan favorite. And in this case, like I said, a guy that's right from his backyard. So we're going to keep our eyes on that to see what goes on. Tyrone, you've been involved in negotiations. Is there any, I mean, we from the outside, we always hear the narrative about a hometown discount and all that kind of stuff. I mean, does that really come into play often with a player, or is it really like, hey, man, you have to pay me when I'm worth?
Really, I think if it does play a part, or when does it come into play, I think it's at the end of a player's career. When you basically have made your money early in the career, and now you just want to play close to home. You want to play at home. So that's the only time that I would think hometown discount would come into play. But when you're in your prime, get your money when you can. And when you come to the end of your career, now you want to, you don't want to travel as much. You want to keep the kids. By now you got a family, and you reside in the state. You want to come back and live in that state. You want to play in that state. You want to play in that city, and you don't want the family to travel as much. So you're kind of coming to the end of the road, as Boys to Men would say. Come to the end of the road. So you want to stay at home. So that's when that hometown discount comes into play.
So you're saying basically before that, when you're in your prime, get that money.
I know it's almost like a business. It's almost like a business going out of business. Usually that's the only time you're gonna get them great sales, when they say half off or whatever. Other than that, while that business is in operation at its full capacity, you got to pay retail plus taxes.
Tyrone, you need to be in our business, man. That's what we're doing right now. So cars are hard to come by, trucks are hard to come by. You have to show us the money. Tree, you agree with that? You're thinking that, hey, look, no, only time hometown discount is when you're kind of wrapping it up, or you think a player maybe in his prime might want to consider, if he's got kids already, to stay close to home?
Negative. I think that it's only when he's finishing off his career, his or her, right? But when somebody is in their prime, they want the most money. And yes, you do want what's best for your kids. But a lot of times the players will play in one city and their families will be in another city, and they just travel, or, the player will come back and forth. But yeah, they typically will go for the prime real estate when they're in their prime.
I like what y'all talking tonight, talking about prime real estate. It's about location. Location was about, hey, I'm in my prime, pay me that money. Tyrone, you got Todd all fired up. He said, man, Tyrone is speaking the truth. Well, what are you talking about, Todd? Tyrone always drops like a shot, bro.
Tyrone, and where has he been?
Hey, listen, Tyrone, he's always going to give you the straight deal, bro. That's one thing I would tell you. He's not pulling no punches back. You getting whatever the situation is, you're going to get it. Again.
The question is, hometown, when do you give hometown discounts? Okay. All right. So as a player, you always got to know, especially talking about the NFL. Okay. They hold all the cards. Really, the team holds the cards. So the longer you've been playing, your productivity is going to drop. So how you going to go in there, say basketball, all right? During your prime, you were averaging 27 points a game. And now, you're getting older. You've been in the NBA for, 15 plus years. Now you're averaging about 18 points, 20 points a game. How you going to walk in there and try to tell them, I want this? They're going to tell you, all right, I'm pretty sure you probably do this too, Jonathan. You know what? We don't take that type of trade in, but there's a car dealership, used car dealership right down the street. I'm pretty sure they'll take that bicycle and give you a car. But here we got to trade like for like. So again, that hometown discount, I've done it myself. I've seen other players do it. When you're at the end of your career, you're not producing. You know what? You still gonna make veteran money. You still gonna make over $1 million, but you may not get that contract that you may get when you're in your 6th year. Now talking about the NFL, or your 8th year. Usually around after your 10th year, usually that's when, you just hope that teams will keep you around. You hope that teams will still see value in you. So that's usually when you start seeing guys after the 10th year, they start looking for jobs.
So Tyrone said, don't see me before year number 9 or 10. All right, guys, I'll tell you where you have to see us. You have to see us in just a minute because we got to take a break. You're watching and listening to the Real Talk Sports Show, and we'll be back in just a moment. Please don't go nowhere. Thank you, and thank you. World Georgia also has Lincoln. Over 35 years of using the visual touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. All right, folks, you see that's one of our main advertisers. Mr. Vigil is also my employer as well. Work for him as a commercial account manager. So we certainly would love your support. If you need a vehicle, you can give me a call, 678-364-3979. And we're more than happy to help you out or assist you with any new Ford, any new Lincoln, or pre-owned vehicles of any type. Hit your boy up. I'll get you the vehicle that you need for yourself or your familia. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Basketball. How about them Hawks? What? We got some singers in the house. Yeah, so basketball, the Hawks beat a depleted, but nevertheless, still with a former MVP, Giannis on the team. They beat the Bucks for the second straight time, this time going into Milwaukee and knocking off the Milwaukee Bucks. What do you guys think about the Hawks? I think they're now number 3 in the Eastern Conference. 9-5 overall, and looking like they may have found kind of that magic of rookies, veterans, and moving the ball around. Tree, what do you think?
I'm really liking what I'm seeing with the Hawks right now. And can we talk about these new jerseys and this new floor that they put down for the city of Atlanta and the peach? My goodness, I think it's phenomenal. I think that the energy, that's what I'm noticing right now. The energy looks really good between the team. There's good team chemistry, and they are playing some really great basketball. So hopefully they can keep this up. Right now, they're on a great path.
Yeah, Hawks are rolling, looking good. Tyrone, what do you think about those Hawks? And like you said, the floor is off the chain. We'll try to get a picture up before the end of the night so you guys can see that if you haven't seen it. Tyrone, your thoughts about those Atlanta Hawks?
Well, like Tree said, they're playing basketball. So right now, basketball is my favorite sport. But 9-5, sitting third. The Bucks and only the Celtics are in front of them. Again, the Hawks, I think they eventually will continue to get better. They will continue to get better. I believe Coach Nate McMillan, he's beginning to see what he's always seen in those players. And I think the younger players, the veterans, I think they're beginning to buy in. So right now, they're 2 games behind the front runners, but it's still a long season. And just hope that they stay injury-free. They continue to score points on offense, and a little bit more of. I'm pretty sure they would probably want to do a little bit more better rebounding in the paint, points in the paint. But again, I think where they are right now, they're above 500. They are positive talks when you mention the Hawks, now it's just about consistency, and they continue to play as a team and continue to believe in one another. I call it soot. Championships are built with soot, and that's an acronym. And what do I mean by soot? Any team that you see that is winning, they are speaking the same language. So when the Hawks are on the floor, the communication has to be pristine. Everybody has to know what they're doing. Whenever the person with the ball, the point, the coaches from the side, from the bench, when they call out the plays, then everybody has to move towards it. And then they have to understand what they are doing, And then the T for soot, SUT, is thinking on fast breaks, on the situations in the game. They all got to be thinking the same. And if they can continue to apply the acronym SUT, SUT, speak, understand, and think together, then I believe the Hawks will impress a lot of people and have a real good season.
Yes, I'm very impressed. It's making me eat my words about that front line. You guys heard me say a lot that they should have a little bit more beef up there. But Okongwu and John Collins, and especially what appears to be a fully healthy Clint Capella, hey, they're not backing down for anybody. I mean, they've said it repeatedly. We're not scared of anybody. We're going to give every team whatever they're looking for. And yeah, man, they balled out. Let's go to social media and let's see the comments there. Mr. Todd said, okay. Okay, so Todd, you gotta hold on, brother. We can get to some NFL question a little bit later on in the broadcast, because that is gonna be the big question that we're going to ask about the quarterback situation for the Atlanta Falcons. Right now we're talking some Hawks basketball. Yeah, man. Let's take a look at the box score from the other night. Let's get some stats here. The Hawks look good because they spread the ball around. Trey Young, 21 points, 9 assists. DeJounte Murray, 19 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Again, this guy's always near triple double. As I mentioned, Clint Capella balling out once again, gets a double double, 19 points for Clint, 10 rebounds. John Collins, looking more like John Collins, 16 points, 9 rebounds. And DeAndre Hunter, who's healthy, gets 24 points. As the Hawks had 5 players that had 19 points or more. Yeah, it's not brain surgery, moving the ball around. Uh, and they have now integrated the young guys in. AJ Griffin, the guy's absolutely instant offense off the bench. He had 7 points in 17 minutes. And of course, our man Okongwu with 6 points in 17 minutes. And Jalen Johnson, 6 points in 15 minutes. Yeah, man, it's just, I've been saying all along. I know people getting on me saying, well, hey, these guys finally caught on. I don't know what happened. All I know is that uh, I'm appreciative that he's playing these young guys, especially AJ Griffin, who's a flat out rookie. And I just thank God that coaches decided, hey, talent over my history of not playing the young guys, and put AJ Griffin in, and he has rewarded them with the game. I'm buying the Hawks right now, no doubt.
Well, I do know this. I believe they have the Celtics coming up, and the Celtics right now are number one when it comes to scoring points. So the Hawks, they're right up there as well. So the Hawks are going to have to make sure they score more points than they did when they played against the 76ers, if they're thinking about beating the Boston Celtics. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, Celtics are always a tough out. Over the years, though, the Hawks have actually played them pretty well. So we're going to see. I mean, they have two of the better players in the game, Jason Tatum and a guy from right here down the road here, Mr. Brown. So yeah, they're gonna come at you. This is a team that you was knocking on the door of an NBA title not too long ago. So yeah, they're gonna bring it, but it's gonna be must see TV. Even though it's the middle of the week, it's gonna be rocking at Phillips Arena. Because as you know, Boston fans travel well, and Atlanta is notorious for having folks from out of town give as much support as the local team. So yeah, it should be a great game. I anticipate, like you said, the place being off the chain. And so those of you who don't have tickets, they still have some remaining. I would advise you get your tickets. If you ain't got that, get your popcorn, because it's going to be a knockdown drag out in State Farm on Wednesday night. I can assure you. So yeah, man, kudos to the Hawks in terms of all the stuff they're doing. And great look at the floor. Let me see if I can get a picture of that daggone floor before we're up. No, my technology says go away. So we, we're gonna leave that alone for now and come back to it. Uh, Want to give another big shout out to the Atlanta Touchdown Club. Big kudos to them. Their final meeting of the day, of the year, handed out awards to two other young men this week. Young man from Whitewater, which I believe is somewhere down in the South Side, and also gave an award out to a young man from up in the North Side of Georgia. So kudos to you guys. We'll have that stuff posted on our Instagram page. So hit us up on Instagram, Real Talk Sports.7, and Real Talk Sports the number 7. We'll have that there. And guys, guess who was the guest speaker today at the event?
Who?
It was the former coach of the New Orleans Saints. The nemesis himself was in the building talking about the idea that he might be coaching again. So very, very interesting to hear from the legendary, and I think future Hall of Fame coach Sean Payton. And I saw him right as I was leaving. I said, Coach, what's up? And I said, Coach, you looking to come back? Oh, he said, I'm coming back. He said, I'm definitely coming back. And he made it plain. I'm not trying to go to college and coach. He said, I don't want to be talking to no boosters. I don't want to be putting on no suit. He said, brother, you're pretty clean. He said, but I don't want to be doing any of that. He said, I'm coming back to the NFL. So look out, teams. Sean Payton will be back, if not next year, certainly the year after. So that was the breaking news. Sean Payton, look for him on the sidelines in the NFL near you real soon. I'm thinking maybe the Raiders.
You know, if I'm a coach, I don't know. It's almost like a player. If I played the game, I think I would want to coach the game. So if I'm a coach, if I've coached the game, I think I would probably, just me, I would probably want to be a GM. You know, like move up the ladder to the next challenge. I don't know, but some guys just love coaching. Some people love what they do. But I'm like, I don't know. To actually have control, because you can coach and be a GM, but that's tough. It's very, 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 very tough to do. And not a lot of people do that well. It's two different hats you have to wear. So, but yeah, just thinking, coach, maybe I want to go to that next level and be a GM. I've accomplished a lot of coaching. Let's see if I can be a GM.
True, what do you think? You think Sean Payton might just like do what Tyrone said, get that GM thing? Or you think that coaching blood is in him?
Nope, I think he'll be coaching.
And you're surely right, because he told a little story. He kind of reminded you, Tyrone. You got a lot of stories in that back chamber there. So he told a story. He said when he was off, he said, his son played football. His son played, I think, like middle school level. And of course, how could you be a coach and have a guy who's won a Super Bowl and his son playing and say, Coach, can you give us a little help? And he said at first he didn't want to do it, but then he said he handed the coach a playbook and had him printed for all the players and said, by the way, Coach, I'm thinking maybe we could use this. And then he said, came back about a week later and said, hey, you mind if I maybe help you out as the offensive coordinator? So he started calling plays, and the team went from being a team that was terrible. I think they only won one game the year before, and they ended up going and playing for the title that they lost. And he said that along the way, they had to make personnel changes. He said one of them was he had to take a guy who was an offensive lineman, and he told his son, he said, hey, I'm going to have, I think we're going to move, what's his name, the running back. And he said, son looked at him, he said, but Dad, he's the offensive tackle. He said, son, I'm putting a running back. Fast forward a couple of years later, that kid is now, I think he's got a college scholarship at the running back position. So, yeah, I'm telling you, that guy Tyrone, he got no interest in being a GM or nothing. This man has got coach stamped all over him. He wants to get back in it. He misses that competition, and I think that he will be back coaching somewhere. And Todd says he knows where he's going. He says he's going back to where he kind of started there, over in Dallas.
Yeah, I'm with you, Todd. I think he's going to Dallas too.
Yeah, either that or the Raiders. I mean, I would not be surprised, man, if the Raiders kind of come after him and try to get him in a situation. So don't be shocked.
Hey, let me say this real quick. I know we're going to get to football later on, but we talk about coaching and transitioning. I hear that there's talks, you talked about the hometown discount, right? There's talk that the 49ers are building their team up to bring Tom Brady in. He's, from the West Coast. So finishing up in San Francisco. So they building the team to bring him in next year. So I don't know. I just hear it talk.
Listen. If Tom Brady goes to the 49ers next year, they win a Super Bowl championship. I've said it.
Well, now, Tyrone, Now, there's two things about that story you just told. Number one, your boy has always said he felt some kind of way back in the day when Frisco didn't draft him because that was kind of the team he wanted to go to. And
Yeah.
I do believe you're right. He's always wanted to go there. But man, now how's that going to be? Tom and Jimmy G part 2? Remember now, Jimmy G was his backup when he was in New England. So buddy boy.
Again, they have Trey Lance, so I'm pretty sure they still believe in him. So
Right.
they think we sit Trey Lance. We still got him for whatever number of years left. Tom may just want to come in and play maybe 1 or 2 years. All right. And then, Jimmy Garoppolo, trade him. He's a veteran. A lot of people want veteran quarterbacks. So keep Trey Lance. He's still your future. And let him learn a little bit more from Tom. Probably more than what he learned from Jimmy G. Nothing against Jimmy G, but yeah. So maybe a perfect fit. You never know.
And who knows, Jimmy G might retire, man, because Jimmy G's like, man, he's like a fly boy, bro. He's like smooth as glass. Everywhere he goes, the ladies be on Jimmy G. They showed he was at the Chargers game, sitting there, man. He was at some game, man. The cheerleaders stopped. And before they ran off, they went by and just every single one of them made sure they had some dap with Jimmy G. I give him credit, man. The guy, I'm not got a man crush, but he's kind of smooth. He handles his business right. I mean, he even looks like he should be like a TV quarterback. Anyway, enough of that Jimmy G talk. We got to go to a break. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Please don't go nowhere because we got some community news coming up. Hang on.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
My man, JB Smooth. That's my man right there. Appreciate him. Appreciate all the guys that jumped in the broadcast. Look, guys, before we talk more football, we like to do a community outreach or business spotlight segment. And Tyrone Poole, I think you have some gentlemen to introduce to the Real Talk Sports Show.
Yes, sir. And this evening, we have two gentlemen that run Takeoff Performance. Takeoff Performance is performance training for athletes, by athletes. And, I'm happy to be a part of the game with them. And we got JR with us. So, JR, can you hear us? How you doing, buddy?
I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. You coming in loud and clear. So that I like that headset. You're doing it right, sir.
Hey, man, it's pretty loud in here right now. We just had a team finish their session, so I had to put something on so I could hear you guys. So as long as you can hear me, I'm glad you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, JR, tell us a little bit about Takeoff Performance. What's your purpose? What's the goal of Takeoff Performance? What are you trying to accomplish?
So myself and CJ, my business partner, we basically grew up in Miami. Graduated high school 2006, college 2010. And just growing up, man, we had a lot of different athletes we grew up with that were either faster, better athletics than us, or bigger, stronger, but they just didn't have a support system or support cast to kind of keep them going through the hard times and adversities of being a student athlete. So I kind of vowed when I was as a child, I thought I would be playing professional football at one point, and whatever team I wanted to play for, I wanted to have like a center set up to where you can go get your academics done, learn about as much as your sport as possible, and just improve. And basically that's what we have now. I'm going to try to show you guys a little bit of what we have. I can't really flip the camera around, so I'm going to walk you through the facility. But as we're going through first, you'll see we have like study room setups where we have coaches come in and actually run study hall or watch film. Our parents can actually see, the training that's going on. We have a yoga room set up to where you can come in and get your yoga and cool down after your stretches. And I'm going to actually walk you out to the field right now. But as you can see, we have one of our softball teams in here, Atlanta Premier. And they're working on different drills, different hitting, fielding drills. They already went through a speed and strength session. But as you see, this is really like a one-stop shop. As you come through here, you see we have a recovery room with a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, as well as some massage tables. We have different artists throughout Atlanta that actually help us design our facilities. So different murals on the wall. You see our athlete wall here. These are some of our athletes that have committed over the years. You see different sports: softball, football, lacrosse, basketball. As we walk out here, it's gonna get kind of loud because you're hitting right now. But you can see these are some of our girls right now. What's up, Peanut? We have a full weight room set up, treadmill, cardio section. We have a hurdle mobility section, full area weights, basketball in the back, lacrosse, and we have some Vertimax session or Vertimax equipment set up as well too. You'll see Coach CJ's right here. CJ, say what's up. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing all right? So yeah, man. But as you see, this is our facility, and as you say, we're trying to just give back to the community and just offer, what we weren't afforded when we were growing up. Whether it's just, pointing out, how to do a drill correctly, or just encouraging a kid to, keep going and keep pushing, whether they're succeeding or whether they feel like they're failing. As long as they keep pushing, they're going to succeed no matter what. So.
I like that. Tree, what do you think about that setup?
I love the setup. I love that you guys have pretty much thought of everything. And tell me, I think I understand the name, but what's the real reason behind the name Takeoff?
So at least for me, whenever I think of Takeoff, I think of a rocket. CJ would say that think of all the components that go into a rocket taking off, from the fuel to all of the mechanics to all of the back office work. Think of all the preparation that needs to go into it. And you kind of think of that, whether you're preparing for a game, preparing for competition, and then on game day, it's kind of, ain't nothing else to do but take off. You are prepared, you've already studied, you've already, built your body and your mind up. And then when it comes time to, prepare, time to compete, there's nothing else to do, So we kind of have a term, you never have to get ready if you stay ready. And if you stay ready, you're already prepared to take off. So that's really the concept behind of it.
I'm telling people, that's where you got to come. That's where I'm training DBs at, baby. That's where I'm training champions.
Let's go.
Our performance, baby. So you need to come on up to Marietta, Georgia. And that's where it's located.
Right off I-75 and South Marietta Parkway.
All right, what's the best way people can find you, social media and or website?
Yeah, so our website is just Takeoff Performance. Instagram is just Takeoff_performance. You can Google us, just type in Takeoff Performance Athletics. And yeah, anything that you see that pop up in Marietta, we actually service all over Atlanta as well. But we have to come out to you, where we have to service different schools, different churches, different leagues. We partner around with different community centers, even different schools like Life University, Walton High School, North Cobb High School, Sprayberry, Pope High School, and different churches or leagues around. Anybody's looking for athletics. Ironically, we just actually started our first girls flag football league for middle school. As you know, a lot of our girls here actually have begged us to get some flag football going for them. And so wherever we are, whether it's here in Marietta, Kennesaw, Atlanta, we kind of get around and spread out to reach all of Metro Atlanta as much as we can.
That's really great stuff. Hey, Todd, I know you just popped in here. Rod, what do you think about that facility over there, brother? Oh, we got you on mute. Let me try to see if I can get you off of mute. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Rod.
Yeah, I think that's the new age of training football players. Having one facility where you can do everything, and I commend you guys for starting this up, and like you said, giving back to the community.
So thank you for that, Rod. Like we said,
you might be a pipeline at Georgia Tech, because I think they need a little help, brother.
Hey, Tyrell, you already know we got that. He take the DBs, I take the receivers. We make something happen.
There we go. That's what we make champions at. Takeoff Performance, baby. Y'all come on.
For sure. Come on. So,
All right, Takeoff Performance one more time. Website and social media, and hopefully next time. Next time you come on, we'll have your banner up. Go ahead, one more time.
yep, our website is takeoffperformance.com. On Instagram, just type in takeoff _ performance. You could Google us, Takeoff Performance Athletics. Our number is 678-505-1011. But just type in on Google Takeoff and something will pop up and you'll be able to see it. And Takeoff is one word. Takeoff, one word.
Well, JR, man, we look forward to getting up there. I'm always concerned about when I go to places like yours that you or Tyrone might be lurking in the shadows and saying, well, preacher, we're going to put you through a preliminary.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
And then the preliminary turns into something that might hurt me for like several days. So I'm skeptical. But I will say that, especially that yoga room, the OG needs to get stretched out, a little bit more limber. So I think maybe the yoga room might be my stop. That can hurt you too, though. I'm just saying when you kind of stiff. But anyway, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate what you're doing, and we certainly will encourage people to come on out. And like I said, next time we'll have you on, we'll have your official banner on.
Let's
and
go.
We really would like to see some people come out there, man, because training is the key. I can tell you, but I didn't play any sports for 1 minute except for, just kind of rec league stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With having Tyrone and Tree on, they always emphasize, hey, you gotta really be prepared, and that comes from what you guys do, training and taking to the next level. So we thank you for stopping in and joining us, bro.
Hey, we appreciate you guys having us. Honored, blessed, and looking forward to next time.
All right, and next time we're gonna take off.
Let's go. Take off,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
All right, thanks for having us. See you soon.
All right, Tyrone, that's good stuff, man. I mean, and they're right in the pocket, right there in Cobb. Rod, right in that area there, you got a lot of great sports schools. You got, baseball obviously is a hotbed up there, and they have some football teams too.
Yeah, Gwinnett County used to be the place, but now we're starting to see Cobb County really, step up to the plate and produce some good athletes.
No doubt. Let's shift here and talk a little Georgia Tech. Got a chance to actually finally get out there. It was good to see you, Rod, and see all the guys. The first time I was able to get out all season. And unfortunately, after a okay first half, a local product from out of Valdosta, Ja'Curry Brown, put his foot down on the pedal to the metal, and Miami knocked off Georgia Tech. What do you think they're really missing out there, Rod?
Well, I saw a lot of arm tackling going on, and, Brown is a great athlete, and his primary purpose out there at quarterback is more to run the ball instead of pass the ball. And, Coach Key said they prepared for him, but, the results weren't there. And, I think it's as the season winds down, it's getting tougher for Georgia Tech to go out there and perform, like they really can. I think mentally, I think they're pretty worn down.
And speaking of Ja'Curry Brown, I actually, ironically, just a year ago, met up with Mr. Brown when he was still playing for Lowndes County, and this was a little quick interview we had after the luncheon for the Corky Kell Classic.
All right, guys, we're here at the Corky Kell Classic getting things wrapped up, and this young man has been kind of almost the star of the show here, but he's going to introduce himself to you right now.
I'm Ja'Curry Brown from Lowndes High, and I play quarterback.
Look, man, it's got to be pretty exciting for you being here at the Corky Kell Classic.
Right.
What does it mean now you're a senior and getting ready to move on, I guess, to the U? Is that what I heard?
Yes, sir. 305, baby.
So what does it mean to be in this classic, in the same classic where the first time ever an out-of-state team Hoover is in the mix?
I can say last year they missed us last year. We could have played them last year, but it's a great feeling to be in this classic. I mean, more or less just to get the football feeling back in the Mercedes-Benz, a place where I dream to be playing at on the next level. So I mean, just it's a great feeling to have football back.
Now I hear that you kind of got used to being on the big stage as a little guy, that you played in the Georgia Dome when you were like 10 on the league.
Yeah, yes, sir. I played. I don't know. I was probably about 6. We were the All-Stars, and that's probably every kid from a grade above me and that's in the class before me right now, and we all play together on the same Pee Wee team.
I hear everybody talk about your leadership. Kind of what are the 3 keys for you as you continue now to lead this team in your senior year?
Really just leading and by example and being more vocal and just overcoming adversity and not letting our team get too down on each other. And we're all going to make mistakes. We're young, so I mean everybody's not going to be perfect. So I mean you can't please everybody. And I mean instead of proving everybody wrong, just prove yourself right.
How exciting is it for you to come out in this time where finally now athletes as collegians can now get a little money, NILs? Are you excited about going to a place like the U?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no place like the U. There's no brand like the U. And I mean, there's a lot of good money down there. And I mean, as great as I play.
Yeah, so definitely NILs were an important factor on him going to the U. And Rod, he was as advertised. I think he had about 250 yards of total offense.
Yeah, when you thought the Georgia Tech defense had stopped Miami, he would pull something out of his hat, break a tackle, break off some long runs, and he was talking about leadership there, and you could see that he really led by example, and he was really getting his teammates fired up by what he was doing out there, and you know. Going into the season, Van Dyke was considered one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and you have to wonder what would have happened if maybe Brown would have been playing earlier after Van Dyke struggled earlier in the season.
Quick question from social media, Rod. There was a rumor that Sims could have went to the game. He refused to go into the game. Do you hear anything about that? I didn't. I kind of left early, so I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting the story wrong. Jeff Sims has been injured since the Pitt game, and the same as Zach Byron couldn't go back in the game. Jeff Sims was available only for emergency, and it's not a case of not wanting to go in the game. It's a case of not being able to play. If you're a quarterback and you rely on your foot speed and you have like a torn ligament in your foot, why would fans expect him to go out there and play? So the decision was made with the doctors, and I don't know why it took everyone so long to come to this conclusion, but he's going to go into therapy. He's not going to be out there at practice anymore, and he's trying to, start down the road to recovery. And, that's just the way it is. And, there's a lot of fans out there trying to dog Jeff Sims, and if they knew all the hard work that he put in, they wouldn't be doing that.
It's not crazy. Tyrone or Tree, any questions for Mr. Rod McKenzie?
Hey, Rod, Tyrone here.
Hey, Tyrone.
How you doing, sir? With Zach, with the two top quarterbacks down, Zach Gibson, going to get the start versus North Carolina. You got them coming in. Well, Georgia Tech going there, 9-1, North Carolina. What do you think the playbook is going to look like, and what do you think the overall morale for the team? Are they just trying to go to North Carolina, Raleigh, and then just, hey, let's get back to downtown Atlanta? What's going to be the atmosphere, the mindset of these Yellow Jackets? And also, what's going to be the game plan, you think, with Gibson actually being
I think Coach Key talked after the game, and he said, I'm going to rely on the character of my team to step up. And, he told the players, you have to realize, for a lot of you, your career is not going to be that much longer. And if you love playing football, you better work your butt off and get out there and play hard, because very few of you are going to the pros. And you only have 2 games left in the season, so, make the best of it. Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. North Carolina scoring 40 points a game. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the country, one of the best receivers. So Zach Gibson is a guy that has been the backup until Pyron came along the last couple of games. So he knows the playbook. I don't think the playbook will change much at all. He played a lot in that last game against Miami after Pyron broke his collarbone, and I think you'll see a similar offense. Now, if he should go down, your backup Tyson Pumashan, he's more of a Jakari Brown type of guy. He's probably better suited to run the ball than throw the ball. But let's hope it doesn't come down to that.
Tree, any questions for Rob before we wrap it up?
What are you hearing about any big things or big changes that the Georgia Tech that they're already preparing for next season, since this season is pretty much not going the way that it is? What are the big moves to give the team a big lift for next year?
Yeah, a couple of things are going on right now. they have an initiative going on where the institute is going to match any donations given to the athletic department up to, I think, a little over $2 million. So that would bring some needed money to hire number one, a good head coach, and number two, some good assistant coaches. I think you got the NCAA has changed the way they run the transfer portal. You can only go in twice a year, and once after spring practice, and the first one is coming up December 5th, and runs through January 18th. And there's a lot of kids that left Atlanta, went to play other places, and they're deciding, hey, maybe it wasn't what it was cracked up to be, and they want to come back home. So, Georgia Tech is looking to have a new coach in place and ready to be there when that happens. And of course, Georgia Tech has a pretty good recruiting staff, not actual coaches, but the support staff, and one guy that everybody around the state knows, and that's Kenyatta Washington. And I would imagine that his phone has been ringing lately.
Well, there you go, Rod. I got some good stuff hopefully coming up from Georgia Tech. There's my initial donation right there.
There you go.
Right.
Hey, that's about all I can afford too,
But good news, this 5, according to what they're saying, turns into 10 because they're going to double my money. So
yeah, and this is something that should have been done a long time ago.
Well, there we go. Listen, Todd, how can people find out more about you, social media, and website? The floor is yours.
Yep, gojackets.com, as you see along the scroll there, and we're part of the 247 network. And you can find me on at Georgia Panther or Rod McKenzie on Twitter. And, we answer all our subscribers' questions, have articles every day, and keep you updated on recruiting.
There we go. Rod McKenzie, thank you so much, sir. Until the next time, brother, God bless.
Y'all take care. Good being with you.
All right, guys, we're about to shift now to professional football, and I'm actually going to run and not take a break now until the 9 o'clock hour because we have in the green room the man that is the embedded beat writer for AJC Sports for the Atlanta Falcons, and he is also Esquire par excellence, and every now and then wears a mean fedora. The one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is back in the building. D. Led, what's going on, sir?
Hey, it's going great, Reverend. Thanks for having me on Real Talk Sports. Hello, Miss Tree, and congratulations, Tyrone, on being named a finalist today for the Black College Football Hall of Fame.
This is my year. We're going to celebrate it right here. We're going to pop the bubbly right here.
We're going to turn Fort Valley upside down.
Yes,
I know, right? We have a parade going down. There's only 2 streets in Fort Valley. We're gonna lock up the city. We're gonna lock up the 2 streets. Thank you, D-Led.
Well, that is good stuff. And D-Led, I think they still do the ceremony at the College Football Hall of Fame still.
Yes, it's they moved they got a game in Canton now, and they do some stuff in Canton. But yeah, the spring announcements usually has been at the College Football Hall of Fame here in Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. So hopefully we'll be able to be there live and in person to cheer on our champion, Mr. Tyrone Poole. All right, before we shift into the NFL, quick spotlight on college football, guys. What do you think about the idea that you might have a Big Ten SEC shootout as Michigan, Ohio State, and Georgia and Tennessee end up in that Final Four? What do you think about that?
I'm not just going to dismiss TCU. They did handle their business. So Tennessee's got a loss. So let's kick them out. I know they're not in right now. So I'm fine with Ohio State. I'm fine with them not being in right now, even though they put 66 on Missouri. It's going to be I'm for a more open and deserving pool. Everything doesn't have to run through the SEC, especially when it's a down year. Somebody out west stand up. I don't know. It's USC or UCLA. Can they do it? Oregon fell on their face. But yeah, let's make it a national thing, not a regional. We're the best. it means more type of deal.
Tree, what you think? You think we get a Final Four, Big Ten, SEC, or you need some other folk in the mix?
I'm cool with it being Big Ten, SEC. so we can go ahead and play each other, and we can show people what the Big Ten is made of. So yes, I want it to be Big Ten, SEC.
Well, I ain't seen a smile like that, big D-Led, since she was passing off that crown. Tyrone Poole, what you think, sir?
You know what? I had an opportunity. I was anticipating watching TCU. I just really wanted to see were they really that undefeated team. And still, I haven't bought the stock yet. I know that they could probably put up some points, but my thing is, will they be able to get physical with teams like Michigan, Ohio State, and Georgia? You know they're going to try to run that ball, okay? My question is, can TCU get physical with those boys? And I know they can throw the ball, put up points, but when it comes down to it, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. And when I look at Michigan and Ohio State, them boys are balanced on offense and defense, especially on Michigan. They can stop the run, and I can't even say stop, but they are competitive against the run, and they are competitive against the pass. So their defense is just going to have to be, I think, so tired that they're going to give up points. But if Michigan offense can throw the ball, run the ball, keep balance with their defense, I think Michigan can be pretty tough, man. So, but we'll see.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just put out in the atmosphere our future tech man and assistant producer, Mr. Trennis Phillips. He says TCU, he agrees with D-Led that TCU is going to make some noise and get in that Final Four. And, of course, the whole thing could get shook up if LSU mess around and upset Georgia in that SEC championship. Then they're going to really have to figure out what you're going to do with a 2-loss SEC champion and a 1-loss number 1 ranked team going into that game. So, yeah.
Let's say this real quick, too. Now, I know Michigan and Ohio State have to play each other, okay? Right. Even if one of them teams lose, both of them should make the playoff, man. Because I'm like, those are 2 of the doggone best teams in the NCAA. It just so happened they bumping heads before the playoffs start. So I'm like, regardless, whoever loses their game, they still should make the playoff. Maybe they drop down to number 4 or whatever, but it should not be in the arguments whether they're better than some of these other teams that may have a 1-loss record as well.
Well, all I can tell you is that if everybody wins out, I can tell you that Tennessee is going to be rooting for Georgia to put the beat down on LSU, because it's going to be very difficult to keep Tennessee out if their only loss is against the number 1 team in the country. And their loss is not as bad as maybe some of the loss of the other teams. So we're going to see. It's going to be very, very interesting. Of course, that's why they're going to 12. That's why they're going to 12 teams. Because what D-Led said, people are just tired of seeing situations where you can have as many as 2 teams from the same conference and only 4 spots available. So that's why everybody's going to that. You're going to see the 12 team. You're going to see some interesting games. But it's like all these stuff, man. The cream going to rise to the top. So we're gonna find out really quickly what we got. Speaking of cream rising to the top, D-Leg, can the cream coming from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium find a way to somehow rise to the top against this Chicago Bears team, which I think is going to be a tough out for the Falcons on Sunday?
Yeah, this is a winnable game, Reverend. I was doing my work here today, talking to Corey Wooten up in Chicago, who does the Bears podcast, and went on the NBC podcast up there to discuss the Bears, and they're struggling right now. They don't, as I look at their list of the defensive starters, it doesn't remind me of the monsters of the Midway. Here are your linebackers after they traded Robert Quinn and Raekwon Smith. There's a gentleman by the name of Nicholas Morrow, Jack Sanborn, a undrafted player from Wisconsin. He's actually playing pretty good, and a linebacker named Joe Thomas. So if you all have heard of any of those 3 gentlemen, you've done a lot of work, and you are one of the 1%ers in the country that are on top of things and on top of the depth of the Chicago Bears roster. So definitely can be ran on, definitely could be taken. But the Falcons got to go out and do it. They got to go out and put together a whole game, tackle some people, don't give up any yards after the catch, and when they throw you the ball, catch it. They didn't catch it last game. They dropped some interceptions there, and if you get a fumble, and hold on to it. Don't drop your fumble like you did in the Chargers game. So that's where we're at with the Falcons here. But they got a shot, Reverend. If they can beat the Bears, then the Washington Commanders, and then the Steelers, then you're at 7-6, over 500 for the first time since 2017, and then all of this playoff, we're in the middle of the hunt stuff is legitimized. So go out and play some football here over the next 12 quarters, beat some people, and make us legitimately look at you as a real live playoff hopeful team.
D-Led, you hit him with so many shots. I had to put my shades on, man. 'Cause you hit him with everything. He was like, bam, bam, bam. Tree, question or comment for Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter.
So do you really think that they'll beat the Bears?
Well, they should, Tree, and I'm going off of my numbers here, and from my interviews here, you got the 32nd ranked pass offense going against the 32nd ranked pass defense. So, hey, that's a toss-up. You got the number one ranked run offense, which is the Bears, and going against the number 18th ranked run defense. So, the Falcons have some advantages. The Bears have an advantage running the ball against them, and the Falcons' advantage is running the ball against the Bears. So don't make mistakes. You should win the game.
Okay. I can see it from that standpoint. I was just thinking that Chicago had a little bit of momentum going into it, but I see where you're coming from. That definitely does make sense.
They're playing much better, Tree. But they've lost 6 of their last 7, so they don't really have any. They got the momentum of Justin Fields running the ball and looking good, but they haven't figured out how to win the games yet. So that's kind of the next step for the Bears. So they'll come down here thinking that they can get a win and getting their season turned around and pointing in the right direction. He's from Harrison High out here in Cobb County, and he's going to want to perform for the people that he grew up with, and the people he left at Georgia to go to Ohio State. He's gonna want to come in here and set the dome on or set the bins on fire. So that's gonna be in the Bears' favor.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tyrone.
I was gonna say that looking at the Bears and this game against the Falcons against the Bears, the Wildcat. Or the wild card, almost like a wildcat, but the wild card again is Justin Fields. Against Detroit, he ran the ball 13 times for 147 yards. So really, you look at the rushing leaders from week 10. Barkley, the Giants, he had 152 yards on 35 carries. So what I look at when I see Justin Fields, I'm like, the quarterback is the only spot, basically, where you can't really truly assign someone to say, okay, you can have them like watch the guy, but you can't do it every down. So I think Justin Fields with the RPO, he probably could squeeze in a couple passes, and just like D-Led alluded to, the Falcons defense, pass defense is not that good. So Coach Dean Pease, he's going to have to find some kind of way to make sure that Justin Fields doesn't beat the Falcons defense with his legs. And also, if you try to take away his legs, you now open up gaps in the defense where he can dump it or fake it. So it's so many things that Justin Fields does create, even though he's not throwing the ball like you would want your quarterback to do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, you get these running quarterbacks, these athletic quarterbacks, they sometimes can be a nightmare for a defensive coordinator. So, I'm pretty sure Dean Pease is trying to find out how do we not let Justin Fields beat us. So if they can control Justin Fields, then I think the Falcons may have an opportunity. But if they don't, then I think they're going to open up some opportunities for the Bears offense that shouldn't be.
Stick a pin in it right there. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just 30 seconds. Hold tight.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
All right, guys, we're back with the final portion of the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, down here below. We have right next to me the lovely Queen. If I can get my fingers right, I forget. Anyway, she's lovely. You can't miss her. The Queen, Tree Dolman. Above me, we have the Orlando Less Better, the beat writer for the Falcons, and our champion, Tyrone Poole. Yeah, our Falcons.
Hey, put it away kind of a little slow there, baby. Let them see.
Gotta get back in action there. Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, so if looking at this team, I tell you, the wild card, you hit it on the head, is going to be Justin Fields. Because D-Led, unfortunately, guys that have played here or lived here in Atlanta, when they come back to the Dome or to the Mercedes-Benz, they ball out.
Yeah, Eric Berry used to put on the show when he came back with the Chiefs. He used to ball out.
Man, listen, even what's his name? Matter of fact, that's why they got him from the Panthers. What was the guy that running back from the Panthers? He did the same thing, lit him up for about 140 yards. Next thing, the Falcons signed him, a bad signing, but they signed him. Yeah, so it's just Justin Fields is going to have a lot of bad intent on his mind because he's thinking, number one, y'all got that big 6'6" guy over there, and y'all could have had me in my hometown. Y'all bypassed me repeatedly.
Right.
And then, he's, like you say, got some edge against the people in Georgia doing what they did. So, yeah, I think that he's going to do everything he can to try to at least tie or set that record for quarterbacks running because they're going to tell you, coach, just give me the ball. I'll take care of it. So the Falcons are really going to have to man up to stop him. And then the other thing, too, is to me, the Falcons offense should really take more of a page out of the Bears book. If you think Mariota cannot throw you into a winning game, then doggone it, man, just let the guy run the RPO all day. That's it. I mean, because clearly, if he can't pass the ball and you're having that much of a problem, and he's shown that when he runs pretty good, then let him do that. Who knows? Maybe he might get more confident when he does throw. He might actually hit somebody. And somebody might actually catch the ball when they throw it to him. So that would be me. If the Falcons want to win this game, I think they're going to have to turn Mariota loose. Look at, man, don't worry about throwing in the pocket. Don't worry about any of that stuff. If you see something, you see a lane, do like Matt Ryan. run that ball. D-Let, look, I'm going to tell you guys something. When I saw this video, have you guys seen this video of Matt Ryan on a 39-yard run? Have you seen that, Tree?
No.
Yeah.
Tyrone, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he broke loose for 39 yards in the Colts game last week.
Listen, the guy, it is the longest run of his 16-year career. 39 yards. I'm thinking to myself, dude, where was that in Atlanta? I might even text him. I'll say, Matt, see what I told you, man. I told you we're here. You should run the ball every now and then. 39 yards. And then topped it off with a, at the goal line, quarterback sneak for a touchdown. Who knew? Doggone. But anyway, Matt's gone. I'm happy he is back playing for the Colts. That's one thing that Jeff Saturday did. He said, hey, Matt Ryan's going to be our guy. So he started him. So, even though
you mentioned this about running quarterbacks, okay? Josh Allen, okay? I want to get D-Led take on this as well. They were talking about Cam Newton back in the day, running the ball and, defensive guys like just teeing off, why they hitting Cam like that? They don't hit these other quarterbacks like that. Now, Josh Allen, he take off and run the ball. He trying to punish people. So now if the defense, okay, all right, we got something for you. So would it be wrong if the defense just start teeing off on these quarterbacks? What do you guys think? You think they're going to come back and start throwing the flags and saying, okay, hey, that's unnecessary. But then we as defensive players, we're like, hold on. This dude try to embarrass us, man. I'm like, I'm not going to let him run over me like that. So what do you guys think? You think the quarterback should slide? They should really just get out of bounds. We already got a red jersey on you, okay, try to protect you. But now you're trying to run over us. Should the quarterback when they run just slide? 5 yards before they even get to the defensive guy? Or should they do like Josh Allen and just try to run over somebody?
Yeah, they should play football and be like Josh Allen. So you're gonna get lit up, but hey, the only running quarterback to survive that and turn into a passing quarterback was Randall Cunningham. So you eventually gonna get lit up, but I'm fine with him playing football and not this sliding baseball stuff.
Come on, Tree. I saw you grinning. Come on. What
No,
you think?
I agree with D-Led.
All right, now listen. When y'all was talking, I saw the little corners of Trees go like this. We let them go ahead and get a little bit of this because Tree likes that defense. Yeah, you like defense, Tree.
I like defense, but I don't like seeing people get hurt.
And listen, I'm not talking about that, but I mean, just every now and then you gotta get tuned up. All right, let's go to social media. Says here, Lieutenant Breezy says Kyle Pitts needs more touches. To be built like LeBron, only get 1 or 2 receptions a game is crazy. And I mean, now D-Led, my understanding is that the count as far as the number of the actual attempts to get him the ball is actually fairly decent. I mean, my understanding is they're actually attempting to give him the ball 5 or 6 times a game. It's just, it ain't connecting.
Yeah, no doubt. I was pulling that up right now. He's got 54 targets through 9 games, 25 catches. So that's below 50%. You want to be around 70% at that position. And he doesn't have but 3 drops. So most of this has been inaccurate passes, behind him, over his head, but they made a big deal out of the fact he had this 83-inch wingspan. So the fact that the ball's not on target shouldn't matter. He should be able to grab some of these, certainly more than 25 out of 54. But I don't know who to blame on that, the quarterback or Kyle's dropped 3. So say if he caught those 3, that meant he have 28 catches. I mean, there's still that's 24 plus 2. That's 26 uncatchable balls. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Maybe he can come up with 5 of them or a couple with circus type catches. But when you got a quarterback that's not accurate and can't get the ball to your number 1 target, that's a problem.
So going to social media one more time. Todd's asking the question, really, D-Led, everybody's asking. Okay, really, this is what I'm thinking. Okay, how bad can Ridder be? Because Marcus is he's like 28, 27, and I think 29 almost every quarterback ranking, and that's at like the bottom. So you kind of ask yourself, all right, I know the kid's a rookie, but I mean, how bad can he really be to not see any time at all?
Well, he can't read the defenses yet. He can't get them in and out of the plays. So you would be very limited. You would go to the line with just say a 40 dive or something. And, they might have 10 people sitting there and you got to run it because he doesn't know how to change the offense around. You got to go up there and, you might go up there with 2 slots, and 3 receivers. And then, you might want to switch it into a I formation zone run. You got to be able to, do all this stuff on the fly in 25 seconds. He can't do that yet. That's the Falcons offense. Mariota can do that. So he gives them the best chance to win right now. It's not anything. We've been assured that there's no he's this bad type of guy. It's been that he can't run the offense and function it the way they need to attack people. So therefore, he's not going to play. Now, we did ask him like, well, hey, if he had to play, if Marcus got hurt, can he go in? And he said, yeah, he can go in, but I would have to protect him. I would have to call it a whole different way and, keep it under wraps and pretty much scale down the playbook to, just allow him to go out and function like he did in the exhibition season. So it's a lot to learn. Arthur Smith's offense is complex. They're giving him time to learn it. And so people need to be patient. I know people don't want to hear that, but, he's a 3rd round pick. He's not the 3rd pick overall in the draft. So, get the kid ready to play. When it's time to go out there, he can go out there and play. not be running around like he's at the playground, like we saw Malik Willis looking in these Tennessee games he was playing in. You know, that look I could have went up the street and saw the little league kids do that, you know. So that's where we're at. You know, football people fans don't want to hear that. They want to see the guy. But from a football standpoint, they're on solid ground in developing their players to where he can go function at a high level when he gets out there.
D-Led, we know that at least one team is going to come out of the NFC South, okay, going to the playoff, just how the system is made up. My question is, will that team that comes out of the South, will they be a 500 team or will they be under 500? What do you think the record? Because the NFC South, man, pretty much like the NFL period. Everybody's sucking air, man. So does the NFC team that wins that division, are they 500 or above 500?
Yeah, they are. It's Tampa Bay. They're 5-5 right now. They got a bye week. Brady's divorce is going through. They're figuring some things out down there with Julio, Mike Evans, and Godwin. They don't have. They found out they got a running back in the rookie Rashard White. So if the rookie can carry the mail down the stretch here, then they're gonna have a shot to finish above 500 and get to the playoffs and send Tom Brady out maybe his last year. But you know, so they're figuring stuff out down there. Coach Arians is around more helping Leftwich and Bowles, you know, get this ship back on track. Just how healthy they're going to get on defense is the key, but the offense is starting to figure a little, you know, some little things out. Saw Julio's touchdown catch to start things off over in Germany against Seattle. You know, they jumped out on Seattle and then held them off. So, yeah, I'm thinking the Bucs are going to get this thing figured out.
I got last off the record football question, but a futuristic question, a future question. Jake Matthews gave birth, his wife gave birth to their son.
Mm-hmm.
With the history of the Matthews family, will he be a football player in the future?
I asked Jake that, and he was born a little early. Beckett is his name, and he was only 6 pounds, but plenty long. So like Jake said, he's a long fella, but he was only 6. If he would have went term, I'm thinking he'd been a little bit bigger. But yeah, he's gonna probably be a tackle, and he's gonna probably play at Texas A&M.
I love it.
D-Led, you're surely right, man. Because that you talk about family DNA and pedigree, man. They're going back 4 generations or something like that.
Yeah, at least 3. Yeah. Because you got his dad, Bruce Matthews, then uncle. He's got the Uncle Matthews, played with the Brown Uncle Clay, and then you got little Clay, who is his first cousin, and you got him and his brother. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sign the kid to an NIL deal. He's gonna have some free milk and diapers waiting for him.
Well, D-Led, listen, I'm telling you, you might be speaking something prophetically because someone that told me about this. They now have, I think, who's the commissioner? The Dirty Bird himself, Jamal Anderson. They are starting next year a league, almost like the AAU for football, where you can actually get paid whether you starting from 6 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that from Andre Rison up at Leroy Butler's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. He told me to catch up with the Dirty Bird on that.
Yeah, man, unbelievable. I think it's called the Independent Professional Football League. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. But yeah, Indy Pro Football League. Jamal Anderson is their commissioner. Andre Rison is one of the owners. Matter of fact, if you guys want to go to the website, it's indyprofootball.com. indyprofootball.com. That's the name of it. And literally, it is going to be the AAU of football. Tyrone, you were talking about this football not having an AAU. It looks like it's here, and I'll give you it has kids ages 8 through 9, big kids 10 to 11, youth team 12 to 14, team 15 to 17, an adult team ages 18 and up. And they got some heavyweight guys on this. Andre Rison, Seth Joyner, Warren Sapp is an owner. So yeah, man, it's going to be very interesting. But so you might as well go ahead and jump in there, D-Led, and get put your. Say, look, this log is not just on paper, boys. I'll go ahead and take care of you, get that contract right. Yes, sir.
I think
I want to. What did you say?
Poetry.
Oh, well, I was just about to go through my football spiel. So, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I was going to say about that AAU football. That's the only sport basically that doesn't have a sister league, so to speak. Basketball has AAU, track and field has AAU, but football, again, I think it's going to be one of them sports that's going to be a hard fight. Because I'm like, football, man, is big, and especially like here in Georgia, I don't think the Georgia High School Association, they're not going to give up that money that fast. Even though I understand what these guys are doing, that's just me personally. Football, especially Texas, some of them associations that been there for years, they may do okay with what Jamal Anderson and what they're doing, but yeah. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to overcome those high school associations. That's just my opinion.
Tree, what you think about the idea these guys can play pro even when they're little kids?
I mean, that's the way things are going now. So obviously they see a benefit in it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, I've always felt that, just from the time we've been involved with even a youth league, man, all these things are like cottage industries, man. There's a lot of money that gets churned up around these things, man. And if you look in these youth leagues, especially here around Atlanta, you got some heavy hitters. You got Frank Ski, you got a couple of rappers. They all have teams. And I remember I sent out someone out to not too far from me, and they said they couldn't even get in to park near the field. There were so many people out there. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it could be some money. Who knows? All right, let's go back to Falcons question. And Todd got through that shit. He said, D-Led, when will Coach Smith be expected to win? What year?
2 years from now. After, next year, they'll have the 3 draft classes. They'll have the money. Probably could, sneak in the playoffs there in year 3. But year 4 is when he should have a legitimate football team together, given, where they were starting from and how they had to dismantle it. So, yeah, year 4 would be the first time I'd be expecting them to win anything. This year is all about respectability. And then next year you need some progress. And then the year after that, you need them to be a legitimate football team that can go toe-to-toe with the top teams in the league, which, they can't do that yet.
And I say this, add on real quick what D-Led said. I had the opportunity to go into a situation where a team's first existence in NFL season or NFL league. And I kind of see that kind of like where the Falcons are. They have some veteran players. They're trying to rebuild. And just like D-Led said, that's the first thing that we identified in Carolina was we had to find our identity. What type of team are we going to be? Okay. And defensively, we're going to be known for a defense. Okay. And that's how we made the playoffs in 96. They went out and, of course, the draft picked up some guys, a few free agent guys here. But then 96, that year off season, that's when they really started. They went out there and got Eric Davis and brought in Kevin Green and, turned that defense around. And we balling. And our offense did just what they had to do to hold on to the ball, to make sure that we got rest. And, we now in our second year, 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl. So it can be done. Falcons can turn that thing around next year. They just got to make sure that they bring in the right people and know who they are, and they bring in the right people, and they can turn the thing around very quickly.
Well, Jonathan, speaking of your Falcons, I have your poster.
I hate to look at it this week, but go
I
ahead.
know. Well, you see that your Falcons are 4-6, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about that is they're still at 4, but I do think they'll get a couple, maybe 1 more win, maybe a couple. But my Lions,
they got to win.
They got win number.
We're at 3.
Now, there we go. 3 wins. Thanks,
We're at 3-6. Imagine how quickly that happened. And so we could have the same record pretty soon. Never know. I want to say I'm so proud of my Detroit Lions for pulling out that victory against the Bears. And then here it is, Skull Vikings. I mean,
oh, that's the one we've been waiting for, boys.
I mean, did we watch this game? Oh my goodness! I felt like I was watching the Super Bowl. That was a game. How can you not love football watching those games? I couldn't sit in my seat. I couldn't sit still. I was yelling and jumping and screaming. Just phenomenal football being played. So I'm rocking my Vikings jersey right now, and Skull Vikings and One Pride Go Lions. I love this game. How can you not?
A lot of excitement over there from the Queen. Both for teams balling out. I see a lot of them pearly whites popping out, boys. Yeah. So my Falcons, I always like to say about the Falcons, man, they messed me up, bro, because they really should be 6-4. Had outside shot to be 7-3. And listen, but actually it's probably good. Because if they was 6-4 now, y'all couldn't have said nothing to the preacher. I'd have been acting the fool up in here. So the Lord said, son, I'm going to humble you. Yeah, them boys going to find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory 2 or 3 times. So.
I asked D-Led something about his personal opinion on rules of the game. D-Led, how do you feel about, I heard talks, Bill Belichick was talking about, certain calls and everything like that. And within, 2 minutes, so to speak, and under, coaches can't challenge. What do you think about it? You think they should allow the coaches to challenge, at any point during the game?
That kind of is already, since they're challenging, I don't know why you shouldn't be able to challenge in the final 2 minutes. I don't understand that restriction at all. Should be able to challenge throughout. And maybe even have a special 2 minute challenge. It's already to where they're slowing the game down and these interruptions and so forth in the name of getting it right. I don't see why you wouldn't do that.
That's a good point, because if you look at the Vikings game, if the coach had a challenge, he could have challenged that play and the game would have been over. It wouldn't have gone into overtime.
Right. That reception that gave Davis non-catch would not have gone, and there wouldn't have been any extra overtime. So the notion of getting it right is got to trump everything. We can't be like wrestling where people are questioning the outcomes of the activity. So let's get it right. Everybody sees it. It's on TV. You got $10 million worth of cameras out there on the thing. So, and you're going to tell us, no, that's a catch. No, let's get it right. Let's get it right.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from the Vikings' exciting victory, but I will tell you, when the Bills were up 27-17 and Josh Allen had those very strange activities, I thought to myself, maybe someone threatened his family. Because, dude, you up by 10 points. There's no way you should be throwing that ball into the end zone in double or triple coverage. And I know things happen on the snap because it happened to Mariota, but that fumble. Anyway, all that being said, I'm going to leave it right there before I get in trouble. All right, guys.
You leave it right there, because I'm going to tell you what I told somebody else. But before the game, when they were saying, oh, well, yeah, Josh Allen may not play and this and that, I said, I hope he does play, because I don't want people saying, oh, well, the Vikings beat them, but Josh Allen wasn't out there. So now he was out there playing and they lost. They took the L. So don't say, oh, I think somebody was threatening his family. No, the Vikings played hard and they won. And as we've stated, the game should not have even gone into overtime. It should have been over at the end of the clock going to 0. So no, you give my Vikings credit. I mean, hello, first of all, how can you not give them credit? They're 8-1. Like a W is a W, and their record speaks for itself. I'm just gonna leave that right there. 8-1.
Well, gentlemen, this is what happens when you're a single man. You make a mistake and fire the queen up. So on that note, D. Orlando Lebanon, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, Reverend. You can find me on Twitter at D. Orlando AJC, and find us on the AJC website at ajc.com. Thanks for following and thanks for reading. We got 7 more games to go here in the Falcons' entertaining season. Take care and have a great rest of your week.
I want to know what's over the baby. What's over the glasses, D-Leg? Go throw the shades on.
Yeah, he got the shades on.
Listen, he's ready, boys. He's ready. D-Led, thank you, sir. And we'll see you again real soon. God bless. All right, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
I tell you what, I'm beginning to believe in those Jets, Jets. They got some good stuff going on up there in New York. But follow Tyrone Poole at Tyrone Poole 38, all social media, TyronePoole38.com on the internet.
The champion and future Hall of Famer.
I know, right? This is my year, baby. This is my year.
That's what I'm saying. Year. Tyrone, see you again soon.
All right, guys, be good. All right, Tree. Guys,
bye, Tyrone.
All right, bye.
All right. The queen, the floor is yours. Oh, let's do it. Oh. Let's try one. There we go. Let's try one more time. Okay, this button, I press this one. The floor is yours.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I would like everybody to know that tomorrow is a national holiday. That's right. It's my birthday. So happy birthday to me. And Saturday, we are doing our turkey giveaway, our annual turkey giveaway, where we are giving away 200 turkeys, 200 boxes with all of the size and trimmings for Thanksgiving. So if you are in need, you can come to Friendship Baptist Church. You can look at my social media, or if you would like to donate, you can still donate to a family in need at makingabetterme.org. And you can find me on all social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022.
There you go. And the queen has spoken. All right, guys, let's see if I can get I took myself off the screen. I'll get this right sooner or later. There I am. Okay, guys. I am, in fact, a real life minister. Please, ma'am, please, sir. As we wrap up here, I'm going to implore you in this crazy time and day that we're in, all seriousness set aside. First of all, before we do that, you can follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7, or follow me personally at Minister J. Sim. You see it right there. You also can contact me if you got a good story in sports. Send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply give me a call on the cell, 678-410-9833. Before I go, we got to go. Remember, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. Nobody loves like Jesus. And if you believe in him, you get a chance. Not get a chance. You are guaranteed to go to a wonderful place called heaven. There's no bad people, no pandemics, no bad stuff going on at all. And you avoid the unhappy place called hell, where all those terrible people are. It's stinking, it's painful, and you're cut off from God and all the people you love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I certainly like option number 1 instead of option number 2. All right, guys, until the next time we see you again, you know how we do it. God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. So long.